Oh wait, there we go. Yeah, I was just checking to see if my Discord was actually working, and then I realized I just turned off my mic for a moment. But yeah, we will be getting down to the nitty and gritty of it soon enough. We have our special guest hailing all the way from Japan, even though he used to be on the West Coast, the Golden Scarecrow, aka the Wu Tang Scarecrow, as I would know him as. And here tonight, we are going to be going down the Gold Sumo. A suit that I'm pretty sure not a lot of people know how to play properly, but if played correctly, can be quite the monster. A veritable beast, I can tell you that. So, I guess in a moment's notice, I will switch back to the. Oh, wait, you know what? Let me just undeafen. Oh, you guys listen in? Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, I actually started at the proper time too. Though it sounds like you have some feedback going. Alrighty. So I guess that's it for the show introduction. I guess we can start moving on with the main reason why we're here. That seems like Crow has his. Sure. What's up? I just can't believe that people were still kind of caught up about that. The game, the game was just announced. It's like everybody has some inside info. Man, there's a there's a reason why I responded into that tweet with Kusa, because I know people were gonna take it seriously. Yep. I mean, it does kind of have a bit of a Vietnam War flashback effect when people play GVS. Mm-hmm. Yep. Here's your little chew toy. Of course. Yep. Diagonal steps. Hmm. Uh, mhm. Yeah, straight to the point. Mhm. And those tend to be the best kind of mentors too. Yeah, we actually met at Evo. He's definitely a pretty chill dude, and we talked about the wire a lot. So yeah, we just shot the shit there. Oh wait, let me. Yeah, telepathic is saying that you're only hearing one person at the moment. So I upped your volume, Crow. I might have to mess around with things on OBS too. Oh right. Whoops.
OBS so picky.
I forgot I had the desktop audio muted too for some reason.
Womp womp.
Womp.
Yeah. Yep, I
God damn
deserve
it,
that L.
Blue.
I deserve
Okay, it's okay. We didn't talk about Gold Sumo, so
Yeah, that's the
therefore
most important thing.
Yeah,
we're
Thank,
not. We're
thank
not
you,
like
Telepathic
we
Dragon.
can just edit that out post process.
Thank you, Telepathic Dragon, for catching that. Anybody that catches me making any kind of mistake in the streaming game, you're the real MVP for sure. because I would never
Par for
figure
the
that
course,
out.
guys. Par for the course.
All right, then I guess should we quickly introduce ourselves, then just have like the edited video from like here on out?
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Should I go first or last?
Well, I mean, everybody should already know us, so we'll just go ahead and start off with you.
Okay. So I'm the evil crow man. I'm from California, but now I'm in Japan, and uh,
Weeb.
I I'm that guy who killed his teammate to lose Evo. That's me. I'm that guy.
Betrayal.
Wow. Thank you, thank you. All right. You,
I get you,
I'll
Chase. I get you.
Oh man. Well, like I said, gonna say it again. Crow is one of the guys, one of the guys that I rely on the most when it comes to advice for this game. He knows what he's talking about, and he was my first thought process when we thought about grabbing somebody for Gold Sumo because that's one of the suits that I know him most by. And on a side note, I did get him something because of that because I do consider him a good friend.
Thank you, thank you.
Hmm.
Actually, it's actually one of my favorite. It's actually one of my favorite ones out of those pixel things that I got actually.
Yeah, I really like that image. I think I'm still using it on Twitter.
You still use the face
Yeah,
on Twitter. No, that I noticed.
even though it's been like how
It's been
many
a
years?
while,
It's
dude. It's
been
been years.
5 years. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's been quite a while for that, man.
I think we can save like guest questions for like after the Goat Sumo spotlight.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds fair. Yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking
definitely.
of Gold Sumo, so yeah, I think before we go on, I should mention Gold Sumo is my most played character.
Hmm.
It is either I believe in full boost, it is my most played character overall, and then in maxi boost on, it is my third most played character at the moment. Uh,
Behind.
so when I was in Japan years ago, I played Keradim only in shuffle,
Mm,
and then this was like one of the other times that I came to Japan. I was playing a lot of full armor unicorn, and that's probably my most played character now.
Hmm.
Uh, so
all
yeah.
right. So, question on since we're gonna go just get started from there. Do you think Gold Sumo's beginner friendly?
Um, yes and no. So I think it's one of the suits that's really fun to play in if you're a beginner and if you're playing against other beginners. This character actually does not care about, I guess, traditional play. So this thing doesn't have like a Zunda, and its movement is really weird. But if you got a lot of tools that are really really strong against players that don't really know what they're doing, because you have to react in such a way um, that is only applied to this character.
Hmm.
He's also very good at catching people that don't understand that sometimes you do have to block because of that laser, as they call it.
Yeah. So Oki, I think, is like one of the things that really shows like the difference between someone who knows how to play and the beginner, because most people just like quick res, right? It's like
Hmm.
they get
Yep.
down and then they tech it, and
Then they try to
uh,
retaliate immediately.
yeah, exactly, and then just eat a whip, and then they get sad and they get downed again, and the cycle kind of continues, right?
Hmm.
So I think it's easy to play though, for beginners. I think it's a really fun suit. That's actually why I got into it, because it was not a difficult character at face level, but at the higher level, I think this is one of the hardest characters in the game.
Really?
Yeah. It's one of the reason for it being so difficult is because if you're playing against good players, yeah, a lot of your tools end up kind of, I wouldn't say dying off, but you can't really use them without getting punished, or you're going to be trading. So, for example, let's talk about the whip. So, Gold Suma's sub is that he does like a whip that's horizontal, and when he's doing the whip, he doesn't move. He's standing still, and that's kind of the problem. Is that a good team will just kind of
They know it's coming.
they'll cut it. It's really rare that you'll ever get two like people with one whip, right?
Yeah.
So your goal as Gold Sumo in general should just to be kind of to split the enemies apart from each other. That way you get like safe Oki, and you got like a really good on one situation. That's where Gold Sumo excels in. But
So he's a 1v. So he's a 1v1 specialist.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, but a lot of the time in the high level play, at least in my experience so far, or higher level play, I never really get those opportunities. Um,
No, that
and
makes
then
sense.
yeah, I'll just stop there.
No. I mean, that makes sense because I mean, what that's one thing I've always noticed whenever when I'm playing randoms in shuffle. Um, Everybody who's playing in shuffle is literally just thinking, you know what, I'm just gonna lone wolf it. Whereas if you're playing, people that you can tell immediately when you're playing with somebody who's played with teams or who knows what they're doing because they're almost always close to their partner or they're setting themselves up to be in a favorable position. Or if you do get a moment of isolation and you're taking advantage of it, you get cut almost immediately. So it's like you can tell when it comes to this game. Like it's actually kind of funny just how easy it is to notice a difference between a lone wolf and someone who is intending to play together, or even someone who is a team player but can be, let's say, for anybody who's watched boxing or who's watched Hajime no Ippo, because they've done several examples of this, where you'll have a person who's focused and intelligent, but then next thing you know, he finds himself cornered. And he's just like, "How did that happen?" You can tell somebody when somebody tunnels really bad.
Hmm.
Like it's really obvious when somebody tunnels. But I've been wondering about Gold Sumo. Is Gold Sumo like really good against like melee focused suits?
Depends on the character. So uh, one thing that makes Gold Sumo special too is unlike traditional play or traditional suits, right? They don't really have to worry about matchups as much. Gold Sumo is the opposite. So his strength is measured based on who he's fighting against. So
Mhm.
you
Mm.
kind of have to calculate it between whoever you're 1v1ing against. So certain characters have really good tools on wake up or really good melee, or they're able to do something to kind of counter Gold Sumo. Let me give an example of uh, um, a really hard matchup is Hot Scramble. So
Mm.
Hot Scramble has some okay Oki. So if I down him, he can AB me if I'm close enough. He could also do Mustache Melee. He could also do AC. It's really slow. So if I time the whip correctly, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So my goal in that matchup is to stay far away to where whip will connect, but it'll connect at the time to where AC will not be fired, which is a pretty long time because AC startup is really long. But his Mustache Melee doesn't give a shit about my whip. He can go through that. It
Yeah,
doesn't
just blow
matter.
right past it.
Because he has the shield. Um, Same thing with Strike Freedom. So if Strike Freedom CSA is on Wake Up, he can do it while he's invincible. And yeah, I get owned and I'd get sad. It just really depends on who you're fighting against. With melee characters like let's say Bale, it depends if he has sub ready or not. Um, all the red frame suits, it's generally even. Um, Epion is actually pretty solid in my favor because Gold Sumo Whip is it's a little bit longer than Epion's, and plus I have Aoki as well,
Mm-hmm.
so it's good against some melee focus suits. Also, Gold Sumo's main is really good at punishing people who just attack in a straight line. So if I'm meleeing you and I'm not stepping at all, every main will connect. His main is much stronger in this version. So if you want to attack Gold Sumo, if you want to melee him while you're chasing him, you must step quite often. Um,
You know, makes sense.
And when you say stronger, what's the difference between like Maximus On's version of Gold Sumo and Full Boost?
so this version of Gold Sumo is actually the biggest for changes, and this is the strongest iteration too. Some people say like 3 versus 2 is stronger, but anyways, the biggest change is that he is not 2000 anymore. He is 2500, so he has more health and more
That's because
main
that's because
ammo.
they bumped silver to 2K, right?
Silver was a 2K in full boost, but
Oh
in
yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah,
You're right. You're right.
it was
My
a
bad.
few
My
hundred.
bad. I'm thinking Gundam versus. Sorry.
Yeah. So they gave more main, so it went to 12 to 15, and they gave one more assist. And probably the two biggest changes in particular too with the move set is AC has completely changed. So before it used to just be this one assist that would fire this really large green like beam, and if the enemy touches it, it gets stunned. That was the only assist it has had. But now it has 3 different assists. So it has that same assist, and then it has a universe assist where one of the I think Silver Sumos like charges in with the universe shield and does BC on them. It's really really good against newer players. It has really good tracking, and then 2AC, which is uh, a it's in it's a sumo that does the whip or the sub on wake up. This assist is actually pretty solid if you feel like your opponent won't block, or it's a very like kind of ace in the hole type of assist where you can use it like one time in a match and it probably will work given the right circumstances. It's actually really strong. But I prefer to use 8 AC, which is the universe assist, or the green beam one, the normal one from full boost.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the second change that I wanted to talk about was everything cancels from each other now, which that wasn't really a thing. So you can cancel main into BC, you can cancel sub into BC, you can also cancel, um, I believe, AC into BC as well. Uh, those BC cancels are actually really good for stalling, and I believe he has some BC cancels too into MA now, but I never use those. But I've been using a lot of like main, and then I'll go like BCB just to kind of get out, or if I think like the teammate is gonna come in to save. But um, yeah, those are generally the bigger changes.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to teams, do you think it's better backing a 3K and is it perfectly fine double fronting with a 1.5?
Um, you have a few options with this character. I prefer. I am uh, kind of a monkey when it comes to this character. So I'll have my teammate play a 3K, and I take all the lives,
Yep.
especially in the current version, Extreme versus Two, because we have L burst. But in this game, yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Uh, I like having like a partner that's HFX or Sazabi or something that can just stay back and not die. That way I can just take the lives and just keep going in because uh, it's really fun just kind of throwing yourself at them. But he can kind of back, and in that case, I think having um, like a Reborns, of course, would be good. DX, something that isn't too focused in one area. So, for example, like Bale, I don't think Bale's a great partner because you have to force two one-on-one situations. But if you can never get that opening, then neither
Right.
player can really do anything.
Hmm. So you prefer to have
What
like
about with
someone to clear the
1.5s?
area.
1.5s, it pairs up really well with oh my god, I can't remember the name. It's so weird. The really small suit that like Guneasy, I think the suit that like sends the assists out.
The green one that calls up copies of itself. Yeah, gonna use it.
Yeah. That character is really fun to use or to team with. Camphor is great. Alex is solid too. Alex is similar to the other characters that I mentioned with like the whole melee um situation where if that opening is never created, it's really hard to get in. But
Wait, Alex wants the one
campers,
v one.
if you can get that, yeah, you would want that with sumo in particular.
Okay.
But in other cases, generally speaking, sumo and like something like Alex or Ifrit, they want the two one-on-one situations. Um, but Camphor works really well. I would not say Riga Z because Riga Z needs the lives. And other 1.5Ks that come to mind. I think that's it. I want to say
Hmm.
that's it. Oh, Akai too.
What ab-
Yeah, Akai's great.
what about Easy 8?
Easy 8 could work if Easy 8 plays very conservatively, so if he just doesn't die as much, it'd be fine. Like he could die twice, and that's okay. As long as Sumo gets like that first life, it could work fine.
That's kind of why I was interested when you mentioned Alex, because one thing I do when I play with a 2.5 is I feel that for me it's a bad first life if I don't get a second chop hand. I think with an Alex it's impaired. I think one of the strengths of Alex is that even though it has below average health for a 1.5, you do have that chop ham, and if you can keep that chop ham and get a second one, then that can kind of guarantee you letting the 2.5k die first. And I think that's great because if the 2.5 dies first, he's coming back at full health, and then you're gonna come back. You're still gonna come back at full health yourself on your first death. And I believe when you die, if you die again, you'll come back overcosted, but it's not going to be as bad of a penalty as if 2.5 got overcosted.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Good to know. I was in the right thought process there.
What about 2Ks? Anything in that department?
2Ks. Just general like backing suits then. That would mean that gold sumo would be the front. So like RX-78 or X2, MK2, like the really traditional like idea of what a back suit is. Like those characters are fine too.
Yeah, the ones that kind of stay in the cut and within the raillock range, so they can just pick off anybody that's kind of warning too far out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, makes sense. That's actually cool. So going by what you're telling me, then yeah, that tells me that Golsum was actually pretty flexible. Then that's definitely a plus.
Yeah, it's pretty flexible. Although its neutral game is kind of weak, I think. But yeah, it can do a lot.
Hmm.
But this isn't a suit that's going to be. This isn't a derp suit, from what you're telling me.
Um,
The only thing that's derp about it is sub against beginners.
mm, it. I mean, universe too, like BC.
Mm,
You can do some really gimmicky stuff with that because it has that projectile guard, right?
Yep.
But yeah, sub is definitely like the scrub killer. So yeah, I agree. It's nothing too crazy.
next.
Alright, let's see what we can move on with next.
Oh, by the way, do you mind if I show people that thing I got you? Just because I think
Oh,
it's funny.
yeah. Go ahead.
Yo, Blue, I sent it to you by DM, by the way.
Okay.
I just think
Oh,
it's funny.
this is a
The
classic
third
right
one,
there.
yeah, yeah. It's old as dirt, dude.
Yep. Prepare to be hit with a blast from the past. The Wu Tang Scarecrow.
Wu-Tang Scarecrow, yeah. See, that's how you know I'm old because fucking I don't listen to Wu-Tang as much anymore. It's like all about like the 666 Mafia now.
Yep. The Dirty South.
Yeah,
You
Dirty
can never go
South,
wrong
Classic.
with that.
Tennessee.
Oh
Man.
man. So, do you think do you think Golden Sumo's better than it was in Full Boost?
I think this version of Gold Sumo is the best.
The M-Bond version,
The
not EX
Maxi
versus 2.
Biston version, yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think
Where is it? I mean, I don't really care about the tier list, but as far as me, because I'm not good. I'm not good enough for tier list to matter. But where is it on the tier list again?
it's like mid-ish, upper mid, I think. I feel it'd be like upper mid, yeah.
Let me pull it up.
Probably. Let's see. Let's check. Oh yeah, it is mid B tier according to Extreme versus Ninja, which it's at the lower end, but I think this character is better than some of the ones that are listed. But um, generally, yeah, generally speaking, it's one of those suits that at the early to mid level play, it's relatively strong, but the high level play, there are a lot of nuances and a lot of really tricky things that you need to learn in order to really have the character shine. Um,
Mhm.
if I were to give an example, um, Gold Sumo has unblockables that are really, I wouldn't say easy to do, but most of the situations that you would use these unblockables in are very practical.
Mm.
So it's kind of being able to not master using those, but having that kind of game sense of when going for an unblockable is the best solution possible, or um, knowing when to use certain your assists or not. Because all these unblockables I've mentioned, they kind of revolve around that assist or your MA skirt, the MAAC.
TIE fighter, as I like to call it.
Yeah, it's super good.
There you go, Marvel players. You guys, if you like your unblockables, there you go. Play Gold, pick up Gundam,
Yeah,
go play Gold Sumo.
play Gold Sumo or Akai.
Definitely that guy. Just open people up and just make them wonder why they're getting their ass kicked by a little brown mole thing.
I don't know, man. That guy be trolling in Gundam Battle Operation 2 also.
Oh,
It's a
oh
fucking
yeah,
spacesuit.
that guy, Aga guy. Those amphibious are
Everybody,
gonna be a menace.
like, not even, dude. Like, under normal circumstances, like, if you play that guy in GBO2, you think it's actually pretty trash tier when you first get used to it. But that every once in a while, you're gonna run into that at guy specialist, and he just wrecks everybody.
Yep.
But I mean, I don't know. I be see people be having some fun with that suit in a Maxi Boost on. My cousin said that he's gonna play Haman at guy too. Now that I think about it.
I think that's one of the better ones, right? Between the
Amon
two.
Akai is pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was asking to ask you about football, Oki.
Oh no. That's no. That's. We'll save that to the end. That's a very non Gundam related thing.
Ah, okay, gotcha. I'm overthinking.
Fo-
I've been bamboozled.
Football Oki is a classic. Maybe I'll show you later.
All right.
Yep, that must be saved for another time.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not allowed on stream. That is for sure.
Oh boy.
Well, there's a proper
Oh
channels
man.
for it too, so that could be remedied.
All right. Sounds like fun.
Yep.
So I think at this point, are we at the point where we're gonna start looking at videos, or is there anything else we missed to ask?
Yeah, I think this might be a good time to show the video that Pro linked inside the hangar.
So, forewarning with this video, I believe that like the audio is like kind of crazy or something. I didn't watch it with audio at the time that I saw it
Mhm.
because I was at work. So I mean, we could watch it muted. That's fine. But I think
Yeah.
that they like the people in the vid are like drunk or something.
Oh. Well, I
Like
think I
like the
might have.
title is like drinking while playing Maxi Boost on or something like that, and it's just like, oh well.
Okay. I think I
Oh
Apparently,
might have.
Quantum
no.
is really fun while
はいどう
drunk.
も村本です
I agree.
Yep. I'll just put it on stream. I think I might
I
have to let
think
the audio rock.
I think the late great Roy Fokker said it best. What kind of man can handle his booze, or was it something like that? Something about if it goes like you can't be a man if you can't handle some booze.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
All right.
本日は、マキオンのゴールド相撲視点になります、通称金相撲なんですけども、突然ですが皆さん、人生にはね、最高に
Oh, I also gotta say a quick thing about the pilot for Gold Sumo. Harry Ord, got that looking mash move with that suit of his.
Mhm.
So
One of the
we
best
can see
dressed.
here that he did main in the BC, and when he canceled main in the BC, he actually connected the universe. Oh, that was such a risky whip, but it ended up working out.
Yeah, because it would have been a trade between. Oh, I think it would have been a clean trade with Reborns with whatever he could have done, right?
Well, him whipping Reborns is fine. It's the team that Reborns' teammate could have cut that.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, right.
See,
I think that's
here
a-
we see that happening where he gets the whip off on Reborns, but then he gets punished for it.
Got immediately. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
dang.
rookie
Okay,
mistake.
that worked.
You should never go in against
yeah,
Gotimo
his
without a plan.
So we saw that the Oki, he just like went wake up melee. Oh, he went for the unblockable, but he mistimed it. You're supposed to throw out the assist relatively early. Oh, that was a good universe assist.
For a guy's playing drunk, he's switching targets and doing all that pretty good.
Yes, there's some drunken masters every now and then.
Oh man. Wait, you can throw the assist. The assist. You can throw the flight thing, right?
You
Yeah,
can.
yeah, HD. Yeah.
Okay. And does that have like an ammo count, or is it just
No,
spam
it's
it whenever?
infinite. It's
You can
spammable.
spam it whenever.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the only gimmick is that if you can try to do it multiple times, it is.
That move that he just killed with was that BC or is that a regular melee?
I think
That's
it's a
just
melee.
universe, yeah, BC.
BC.
Okay. So I'm assuming that's one of those things you can't really challenge.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to challenge it with melee. Yeah, just block it. That's the best thing to do. That was a
Yeah,
really
because
weird
that thing is huge. Like freaking Turn X Shining Finger.
Mhm.
Those two things those are like one of those things that you just can't really challenge unless you got like armor.
I never use MA main. It's just me. But
Mhm.
this guy really likes using it. That was
Yeah,
really
so I guess
cool.
it's just more of a stylistic choice rather than a general playstyle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and none of his moves are always reloading. They're empty them to reload them.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, he should have let that rock. So some people. Oh, that was such a weird setup where he anticipated the melee from Age effects, but then he like blocked it, but he was too high to block. That was really weird. Oh yeah.
The explosion of the MA just seemed like it had a lot of active time.
It does. So it's if you've played Zaku 2 and the char suit that throws tanks, it's
Mhm.
kind of got similar properties to that tank, but it's not quite as good as the tank. Oh, this is done. This is over. Oh, good block.
Yep.
Also, I
All
never
that
use
block on.
CSA. CSA is not really good.
What's CSA?
He
Multiple
fires
shots.
his main like a bunch of times.
Oh, okay, I'll volley your shots. That
Yeah.
was super, wasn't it?
Yep,
Yeah,
that's
that
super.
was universe to super. That's like the combo that you say like if you want to tell your opponent like fuck you, you ain't shit. You do that. The damage is like kind of whatever. It's just better to just do like 8B into
はい、というわけで3本目見ていきましょ
super.
う。
I think it
これで
does like
フ
a
ル
little
バー
bit
ニ
more
ャン
damage, but it just feels cool
ユ
doing
ニ
it.
バースだ。ガナージャックウォリアーですね。
I
It's
have
one of
not
those
actually.
swag combos.
ということ
Oh
で
yeah.
まあコスパはちょっと向こう
This
の
is a
良さ
weird
っていう
team
感じ
comp.
あ
I
ります
actually have
が
not didn't
まあね
watch it
射
this
撃キャ
far.
ラ相手にはやっぱりこれユニバースでね
But-
Looks like it's World Sumo and
赤
Burning.
赤ってやるとね当たりますんで
Burning. I
No, Shining. It
am
was
I-
Shining.
am I behind?
ちゃんと全部ユニバ
My
ー
bad.
ス
Yeah, shining, shining,
ユニ
shining.
バースって言いたかったねでもこれどっちかっていうと
Oh,
For-
the teammate. No, I'm talking about the enemy team. Gunner Zaku and GPO1. That's
a-
like super.
That's super
defensive.
That's super unoptimal?
Yeah.
They're
Because-
two back players. Like no one can really be aggressive. Like neither of them can really be aggressive.
No, they can't.
Especially against a team like this where it's. Oh yeah, this is.
Because as soon as like L lock gets into effect, there's no way to escape, and the pressure's just gonna keep happening until you're pretty much dead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, double 2K versus double 2.5 sounds like a pretty bad mismatch as it is. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's see, he's doing all like the cool combos, 280. It's okay. It's alright. It's alright.
Sometimes swag is more important than damage.
You have to make a
Yeah,
statement.
he knows that he's gonna win. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
Just dunking on him now.
So at this point, they can just kind of do whatever. GPO1's just gonna stay away the entire time.
Mhm. Oh, I forgot to ask this other thing. What would you say is the preferred burst for Gold Sumo?
Oh, F. Don't ever.
And now that you
use
mention
F.
it doesn't look like there's a point to using S because main fires, you know, it's just multiple release, so no point in zooming. And then the other moves are just, you know, like one, maybe two ammo, so no real point.
Yeah,
I don't think there's much of a purpose for extend either, because it seems like he has to get in as much as possible and keep going in.
E is okay in the situation where your teammate is like a front character that is really aggressive, like Bale or. Oh, that was beautiful with Oki. Oh yeah, I'm really far behind when it comes to the stream. Holy yeah.
So F, E, and then so F burst or E, and maybe E burst. No,
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 S.
no S. Then
If anyone's picking S with Gold Sumo, they either don't know how Gold Sumo operates or they're just BMing.
Yeah, I think it's. From what I've seen, there are some people that do use it. Oh, that's not good. There's some people that use S burst. And
Jesus
again,
Christ!
I don't know why.
to go for unblockable spam, I guess, but even then, that doesn't make any sense.
No. Like they just don't know how the character works. At least in my experience that I've seen, not in Japan, but in like NA, NA lobbies.
Oh yeah,
No
Yeah.
offense, NA, but we gotta step it up.
We
get
have to.
better.
because if we do get tournaments again and we actually do get international competition, we better be ready. Otherwise, we're gonna have a lot of self-reflection to do.
Well, we have no excuse to be honest. We got the game under the same at the pretty like a couple of hours before, a couple of hours after it came out in JP. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean they've had Maxion years.
Yeah, they had years of Maxion, so
Yeah.
it's just gonna be another
Yeah,
game of catch
true.
up.
well, I do think people have been making more efforts to help the community get better at the game compared to the previous game.
Oh yeah,
You got people running around making, you know, they have their lobbies and their Discord channels.
yep. There's like
Now
new.
with the quarantine, we got more people just, you know, sharing stuff in general. We got us making these spotlights. So I think people are making a much more concentrated effort
Mhm.
into this.
I just shudder at the point where if 1v1 does come in, what's gonna happen next?
The only thing, I mean, honestly, I want it to come out because of two reasons. Well, only one reason, honestly, and that's because, we'll be able to make like a private room and just experiment with things and answer and find out what works against what. So I think that's a good way. I think that's the one positive that'll come out of 1v1 if it does come out.
Yeah, I guess we could also test like the main things of melee priority with certain suits,
Hmm.
see which ones have like lower end priority all across the board versus who has higher
Yep.
end priority all across the board.
Yep. Melee
It's,
is basically melee priority and weird interactions with things. That's going to be the main thing. But I think ultimately that'll be a good
hmm
game.
But if it ever does get to the point of having a ranked version, it's gonna be a fucking circle jerk. Just like a particular person that we managed to find that one day ago.
Oh yeah,
That guy, yeah.
nobody cares. Nobody cares about that guy.
Nobody
I
cares.
think ultimately we'll be fine. It's just as long as the people who do want to get good at this game, realize that we're kind of behind,
But we are
then
behind.
I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. We
For
just gotta
now,
stay positive. We just gotta stay positive and not be jerks to each other. We can do it.
just I think for now, just having fun and enjoying the game is ultimately what's important. Um, I don't I don't know who would actually want to dedicate themselves to being that like high level, because I think that road to get there is it's one of those that takes years and years. And even me, I don't think I'm like nowhere near the top even for NA, right? Like
hmm
if we were to compare, the top players that come to mind are like Asade Skyolan.
Ooh.
Between those two people, right, and like me, I'm nothing like skill wise. Like I am not even close. Like they are miles and miles ahead.
Yep.
But they've been dedicating pretty much all their time, and they've been playing for more years than I have, and their approach to the game is a little bit different. It's
hmm
just, I think for now though, at least I used to be like play a lot, play a lot, play a lot, and yeah, I think playing a lot is great, but yeah, and it's just enjoy the game, have fun, and Shagadan as much as you can, dance as much as you can. That's my advice.
It does a lot of psychic damage, so it's
It
somewhat effective.
does.
You said
I
Shagadan? What?
yeah.
Shagadan. It's where you take here's a exclusive tutorial from yours truly. Is you get your arcade stick and then your controller, and you move the stick left and then right, and then you want to do that a lot and really fast, and your character will do like this dancing motion. It's really cool. So everyone should.
Oh, that isn't that like a taunt basically?
Yeah.
Pretty
Oh
much.
yeah. It's super disrespectful. You should not do it.
It's pure
I didn't.
BM.
I did not know that.
It is
Well, I
pure
recommend
BM.
doing it because it's really fun.
You would say that.
But then again, there are much more BM tactics that can be implemented from certain suits here and there. Like Master pretty much giving you around the world, just swinging you consistently at every chance you could get. There's also the Goof Ignited. Every second is like a shock. Age
Crow's
one.
favorite song. Crow's favorite song. Crow's favorite song was from New Boys. It's called "You're a Jerk."
Oh my god, I haven't heard that in like 10
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh man.
H1 shanking. I have a clip of that. Is just all kinds of.
Nah, I think for me, if I want to BM somebody, then it would be with turn X. When you're doing a melee, you do ace. I think it's you do AC, and then he'll basically strike a T pose. Then you're the opponent strike the T pose, and while he's striking a T pose, you're like installing your parts onto him. Like
Oh,
you're
that's
whooping his ass while T-posing on him. And the reason being is because it's stupid because it takes forever. It's like nowhere near optimal when it comes to damage. At least I don't think it is. And then if your opponent cuts you, they have to hit your part. They have to hit the. Oh man, that's like the only thing. I think that's BM, and I think it's kind of annoying if you hit the if you do called Exia's. I think it's 2B, the jump.
Oh, the Mario hop.
Yeah, because you just boing right over them and just like fuck off.
Yeah, I think if you're probably, I tried to do this once with the Sazabi, where I just do the next plus CSB and his super. I call it the Cold War special. No, not Cold War. Nuclear Winter special. It's just two nukes. Two nukes.
That's
I think the real BM is if you pick X1 and you do the neutral sub, the whip where they grab it, and then you do like A,
Mm-hmm.
and you like slowly press A, so you can like mash the A button, and then it explodes them, right? Because you send all the electricity, whatever stuff.
Yeah.
But you can do it slowly, so you can do like 1, 2, 3, and the combo, if you do it correctly, it'll be like 30 seconds long or something, and it only does like 200 damage or so. It's really weak. It's something I love to do in Gundam Versus. Actually, it's really funny. But yeah, in regards to Cold Sumo though, I think for new players, things to look out for is just don't quick rise, don't tech, but don't lay down the entire time, because if you lay down to the point where your character automatically gets up, then you can get hit with an unblockable and there's nothing you can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
you don't get any invincibility that way.
You don't. Well, you kind of do, but you are probably going to get tagged by whip. It's a lot easier to time a whip if you are going to just lay down on the ground, and that also gives me time to put out the assist and position the assist right to where if you, let's say, wake up and block, you're gonna get hit by main and you're gonna get down again, and then you're gonna have to guess like what is my Oki going to be. So I can't really think of any other things. Is there any other questions about Gold Sumo that I should talk about?
I think I'm gonna turn that to the. I think that will turn that to the audience then, as far as that, if they have any questions.
Yeah,
Because
so
I think we kind of covered everything.
if you guys and gals have any questions, just make sure it's highlighted in the chat. If not, I guess we could also skip to questions with Crow. Kind of pick his brain a little bit.
Okay.
What brain?
Yeah, I agree. What brain are you talking about?
If I
It's-
only had a brain.
Yeah, it's full of straw, but it has just enough in order to kick someone's ass. Any takers?
Actually, I do have a question. This one, well, this is actually part of the question we were going to ask anyway. What is any general advice you have for any of the beginners out there?
Keep playing. Just keep playing. That's what one of the top Japanese players told me when I was learning Extreme versus 2. He just said, yeah, just keep playing. And keep playing with one character. I need to really emphasize that. So when you find the character that you like, just only play that character.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you feel comfortable with that character, then move on to others. That way you can understand the character that you like more.
Yeah.
And that's so. Let me piggyback on that question. I'll use myself as an example. So I have Turn X in 3K. I have Alex at 1.5. I guess for 2K it will be Hambrabi and Blue Frame, and I don't have a 2.5. So instead of jumping around between those four suits that I just mentioned that I use, I should just stick with one.
I think for you, you are at the point where you can kind of play anything you want because you've been playing for so long. But if I'm talking about like someone who just picked up the game like today,
Yeah.
I'd say find the character that you like. Once you find that character, play that character a lot and play it as much as you can. And then when you are winning somewhat consistently, like if you have about like 40 to 50% win rate, then I think that's time where you can start switching to other characters and you can kind of experiment and see what other characters you like.
Would that also include? Let me piggyback on that one more time. Then, so would that include if the person picks a suit that they like and that suit is not conventional?
It
So
can
let's
be
say, for
any
example,
character. Any
mm,
character is fine.
okay.
Yeah. As long as you
Reason
just
why I was
find what
asking,
you like.
yeah, reason why I was asking was because, for example, you have Blue Frame, right? Blue Frame moves around like any normal suit, has weapons like any normal suit. But then let's say if a person were to play, let's say a G Gundam suit because they run out of floor, that's gonna be. I figured like would that be harder to translate as success with other suits, or not really?
Some things translate to other suits, but again, I would I would I would just treat everything differently. Like for example, Gold Sumo, right? We talked about this character today. There aren't many characters that have similar traits to him. There's like some characters have like a tool that's the same. If we go to like Penelope CSA or Hot Scramble BC, right? They both are whips, but both of those whips have different properties. They don't stun, and it's just a one hit like down, and they're both not very good. Oh, oh, someone died. Oh, okay. So I think if you are going to kind of jump from character to character, I think at least in my case, and maybe in yours too, I'd say Turn X and like Alex and Blue Frame. Those characters are very
Mm,
different from each other, but you like those characters, right? So as
yeah,
long as you just find stuff that you like, then that's what matters. For me, I like Gold Sumo and I like Full Armor Unicorn and I like Yakushiki. All three of those characters are played completely different than each other, um, and I like those characters for specific things. So with Former Unicorn, I like how he has a really strong neutral game at the beginning, and then you can kind of force it to be more aggressive with Form 3. And Yakushiki is just all around a great character. I don't think he's strong in this game, but I love it playing him in Extreme versus 2. That's my most played character in that game
which
because
one?
Yakushiki
Yeah.
because he has one of the best assists in the game, which is the Zeta assist.
Mhm.
It's crazy, crazy, crazy good. It's one of the best assists, if not the best assist in the game. Um, but the point I want to make is that the characters are vastly different. Just find what you like, keep playing it, and always remember have fun with the game. And if you do want to play to get better or to get really really strong, then for that I recommend um, play with people that are better than you and um, don't play against the same people all the time.
Mhm.
Don't if you have like a small group of friends, that's okay. But if you want to get better, you can't get better with just 3 other people or 7 other people. You have to really branch out. Finding
Or like you
static
told,
partners.
or like you told
Ooh,
me, you got to throw yourself to the wolves sometimes.
pretty much. That's this game. Is that new players you're gonna get eaten up. Like you're gonna get fucked up by people like me. Because I'm gonna look for those beginner lobbies and I'm gonna kill all of you. Because I love doing
Yep, especially the ones that make it public.
that.
Yeah, especially the ones that
I'm
make it
You're the
public.
Scarecrow, the noob smasher.
yeah, I'm a monster.
I mean, you can.
Scarecrow's actually, see guys, what it is Scarecrow's actually a young Kutku.
That's monster.
I was
Ah,
like, what the hell? I'm like, oh, Monster Hunter.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm
fuck that little
actually,
bastard.
I'm pretty. I call it eating meat. Like I just I don't know. I like looking for those types of lobbies, but this is the game where like you will just get stomped. But to answer your the question about finding static partners, to be honest, I can't really give you an answer because I don't have one. I've the only partner I would say I've had is Acidace, and like he's kind of he can play with anyone, right? I can't play with anyone. Um, I recommend playing with someone that has the same goals that you have, but in particular, um, larger discords will work to find partners. I know EE has over 1,000 people now,
Hmm.
or EE has an extreme evolution, and what was I gonna say? Um,
Get good, scrub.
yeah. Finding a partner, I can definitely say that has been the hardest thing for me in Japan for Extreme versus 2 because I don't have one.
They don't want to play with filthy gaijin.
It's it actually they're the messed up part is you're kind of right.
Of course,
Like
I'm right. I'm always right.
there's a really weird thing. I know we're going off topic here, but yeah,
Huh?
there's like a really weird like I want to say like sense of racism in like Gundam, but like there's like this weird like distance that's like put on foreign players. Um,
Mm.
and everyone just kind of like uh, they just like watch you from afar, but they will never like communicate with you or anything like that. Or even if you do like talk to some players, like it will be only to like a certain point. It won't ever be like it's really hard to make any kind of friendships with it.
Hmm.
Quick
At
question.
least in my experience. Yeah.
Quick question. Where are you at in Japan?
I am currently in Yokohama,
Wow.
Ah,
so
see, I was in. Like, I can agree with you that some people are like that. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't. I'm not. We're not being. I mean, clearly, we're not trying to be offensive here or being anti-Japanese. Far from that. Because even though that stuff did happen to an extent when I was in Japan, generally, well, my experience was pretty positive. I do remember. I think my best experiences actually happened at the arcades that I played at. For example, I didn't know about Greed. I feel like let me give you an example. I didn't know about Greed Sever in Guilty Gear, and then one guy was just abusing the living daylights out of me, and I didn't know Japanese at that point. I kind of forgot everything I learned at this point now too, but I kind of did the motion for Greed Sever. He's like, oh okay, he kind of like, okay, cool, it's this, and I'm like, oh, and then I picked Kai and I started, then I became a member of the Church of Greed Sever, but
GC Yoshi.
but I feel like when I played out there, it was generally a good experience. Because I made it a point that every time we had a match, like we finish a match, I would go over and either shake their hand or bow and say thank you. And me and the friend that I played with, we were usually like being pretty positive. The only experience that I remember that was really really bad was my friend Asina, Sean Asina, that was his name, was in the Navy. He was completely dunking on this one Japanese book. Like it was bad. Like I'm talking like this kid would not stop rematching my friend.
Wow.
And I think my boy racked up like a 20 game win streak on him. And the guy just refused to leave. And his friends were trying to get him to leave, and everybody was trying to get him to leave. And then one of his friends looked over to us, and I was like, "I got you." And I told my boy, like, "Yo, just sandbag, let him get one." And the kid, my friend sandbags and lets the guy win, and the guy basically just pops off, and you hear him in his broken ass English say "fuck you," and then one of his friends just came over and thanked us. I'm like, "Damn, dude." But no, I can. That kind of similar happened when it came to. It's a different game. It happened with Virtual On. I don't know if you guys have played this Virtual on Force.
Yep.
Um, Kind of similar to EX Versus. Um, but me and a friend, we never played Virtual on Force at that. but we did have experience with Virtual On. We both played Virtual On. We played Oratorio Tangram, played Mars. But we had never played Force. So I told my friend, I'm like, yo, they're not gonna expect it. They're gonna think we're completely new to this because we had asked them somebody to show us how to pick up the cards, and the first thing we did was we hit them with a powered attack, and we basically chunked both of the opponents for like half health. and, every, and everybody and all the Japanese players, all the kids there, they took us deadly serious after that because they thought we were completely new to this shit, and we were like, yeah, we know what the fuck, we're not completely new to this shit, and then we kind of proceeded to get our shit stomped. It was pretty.
Yeah, once I saw
But
that you actually were a threat,
but
it
that
took it
being
up.
said, it is regretful that no one wants to partner with you. Because I remember you've shown some screenshots. I remember you posted some tweets, Crow, where you were going on some streaks. So, and you've been around there for some time now. So we're at the point where you should already have at least a reputation that you know what the hell you're doing. So, or maybe it's because you're not picking top tier. I don't know.
In terms of Japan, there's so many players, but what? Let me give an example. Okay, so I went to Premium Dogfights like post Sportsland tournament. I actually went there
Yeah.
and I hung out with best of the best players, and I met a lot of people. And I talked to a lot of people. Really, generally speaking, that was one of the best experiences I've ever had with Gundam. It was amazing. However, after a lot of the people, they ended up following me on Twitter and getting my contact info, and I was kind of surprised that they wanted that. And
Mhm.
since then, I have not talked to a single person from that day. When we're talking,
Right.
I hung out with quite a bit of people, and not just like nobodies in that sense. So, for example, like famous, let's say famous streamers or YouTubers like Nagata Zaku. He's really cool.
Oh, I know who that
Re-
is. I've seen some of his videos. NGT
uh,
Zaku, right?
yep.
Okay, yeah.
He was super cool. I hang out with Hari, the streamer from Osaka. He's really I talked to him the most, and I saw him more than one day. And who else did I really talk to quite a bit? Well, of course, Mermon and um, yeah, Mermon because he went to Evo, right? And I pretty much helped him around when he was in Vegas. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do remember
of
that.
course, like we're friendly there. Like I've talked to him actually a few times off, like like on like messages wherever. But the point is like I met so many people and I have not like I'll like try to talk to like someone and like it'll be nothing or um, it's it's like unless I see them in person, like that's the only time that like we can communicate. I don't know if it's just because like Japanese culture is like that. I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
just
figured it would be a little bit
it's
more reserved as opposed to like.
it's really hard to kind of make those friendships, I guess. And that's just in general in Japan. It's not just with Gundam. Um, I
I
think people are
mean,
just really reserved to show their feelings.
I
But
think I think it is I think it is a reserved, but it took some time for people to open up to me when I was in Japan. But I was stationed in a different area. I was stationed in Sasebo, which is in Fukuoka, so that's like in the southern area. And then I was also I also went to Okinawa periodically. So I had pretty good experiences there for the most part. Like I said, with that one exception, the only exception I had was that, and then the mysterious kid that disappeared in a bat in the bathroom. But that's one of those like weird what the hell happened stories. But let me think. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I had mostly positive experiences because like I only really knew basic Japanese. I'm pretty sure you're able to have like full blown conversations at this point, right?
yeah, I can speak fine.
Yeah, like me, I was like at the very basic. But then there's also the fact that I probably freak people out because, like, I'm Hispanic, so they can kind of tell that I'm not really like completely white or like black or something. I'm kind of some weirdo in between.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I generally have I don't know. I generally have positive interactions. Um, just don't play Yakuza members in Street Fighter. They're gonna wash you. But
Wash you in what
no,
regard?
I what happened?
Wash you in what regard?
As in, like, there was
You're
this
gonna
one
take
guy.
a car ride, and then that'll be the last car ride that you go on. That's gonna
Oh
happen.
nah, he just I don't know. As in, like, he whooped my ass in Street Fighter. Like, the worst ass beating I ever took in Street Fighter was freaking Yakuza guy. But people were pretty positive there, at least in my area. So I'll definitely say that that's a positive for me. It's just it's just unfortunate that you've been there for so long and you know people still haven't opened up to you. That's kind of unfortunate.
I mean, that's just how it is, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could go on about that for a while, but I'll stop. Because it'll just be
Nah,
me
I
like
hear you. It's
about like how facetious people can be.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, just all I can really just say is just stay positive. Because, like I said, most people are pretty reserved. But like, I think you know what? I'm gonna say this. I think another thing that's negatively impacting it is the fact that it's just you. Because I'm assuming you don't hang around with other Americans there, right?
Oh hell no.
That's
Mm.
probably another reason why. I think that's another reason. Because the thing is, like me, when I went out, I preferred to go with friends. So it was me and a couple. It was usually me and at least one other friend. So once they saw that we were interacting with each other and that we were, and usually the guys that I interacted with, everybody looked different from me because it was either a couple of my white friends or a couple of my friends that are black or like honestly, I was a token Hispanic guy when it came to the groups. It was either white or Hispanic guys, so white or black guys. So and a couple of, and then there was also a black girl who was a friend of mine also who we had to hang around with. So she would she knew Japanese the most out of all of us. Like if anybody looked at us like we were crazy, she would like flirt with them in Japanese, and then, oh boy, you know what? I'm gonna have to say it. Fuck it. I think it's time for one of those weird stories.
All right, here we go.
I don't think I've mentioned this one. Yeah. So check this out. One day, like my friend Janine, we had gone to our favorite arcade spot before it closed down, unfortunately, and I every time we see each other, like one of us has to mess with the other one in one way or another. That's just how it is. We have to troll each other. So she says something and she trolled me, and I had to clap back. So a guy was looking. This kid was looking at her, and like he couldn't stop staring at her because she was pretty busty. Like she wasn't like huge, but she was pretty curvy. And she goes and says something, and then she tries to kick me in the head. Of course, she's not trying to kick me, but she tries to kick me, right? And what ends up happening is that when she tries to kick me, she obviously kicking at a very slow speed just to goof around. And I stepped forward, grabbed her leg, and freaking humped her. The Japanese kid looks at this, and he just has this look on his face, like what? Like he just has this total look of what on his face, and he just gets up and walks away. So she starts yelling at me like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, yo, you're just embarrassed. Yo, you go apologize to him." And I'm like, "All right, all right." So I go follow him, and he had gone to the bathroom. And I swear to God, this kid not even was not had not even gone into the bathroom. Not even 5 seconds before I went in, and he was gone. He disappeared. Like this guy disappeared like some NPC of a video game. There was no other entrance to that bathroom, and I stepped back outside, and I'm just confused. And she was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Dude, he vanished." She's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, dude, he freaking vanished. Like, he's not there. And it's like, what are you talking about? It's only one entrance. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, dude, go apologize. What the fuck? Stop playing. I'm like, no, he's not there. He disappeared. Like, I don't get it. And like, there were all the stall doors were open. So I didn't so clear. And I mean, granted, I'm not about to go freaking break somebody's privacy and go look in there, but I don't know. It was weird, but I think it's because of the fact that me, her, and a couple of other friends, we made it a point to like mess with some of the locals. I guess maybe that helped us get along with more people. But I definitely think that being around people, being in a group, I guess that made us look less intimidating, or I guess less odd. I mean, were there any military around you,
Nope.
Crow?
Nope. The only times
Mm,
I'd ever interact with the military is at the hub, and I'm not a big fan of talking to other foreigners at the bar. So
understandable.
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, even then, even in my area, even in Sasebo, there were some bars that were off limits. So I can understand that.
So
But
yeah.
I think maybe that's another reason why, because in the areas where I went to, there's already military there, so the locals are more used to us as it is. But even then, we still, of course, would see. You can. I think you liked my tweet before when I said this. You can tell when someone's giving you that side eye. You can tell.
Of course. Of
Um,
course.
Especially when, unfortunately, the actions of the few, the actions of the few, screw up the acts of many. Because I hate to say it, but some of us military guys were stupid. That's why every time at night we had guys in uniform running around, making sure that people weren't running around getting plastered and doing stupid things. And me and a couple of friends, we did that too. I wasn't big on drinking, but every once in a while, my one of my friends would invite me to go drinking with him. So I go with him, and literally all we're doing is maybe we'll have a drink or two, but we're mostly just making sure that nobody's acting dumb. But I don't know. I think maybe it might have been that. I think that's totally feasible. That because you're so rare, people don't know how to act. People don't know how to act around you, even though because the thing is, a lot of the locals also, I'll say that too. They appreciated it that we were trying to learn the language, that we kind of did the whole mannerism things and everything. So I guess that also helps. But I think it's just the fact that there's not enough of you, not enough of you foreigners out there for them to open up to you. But
Mhm.
I mean, and I'm sure you've tried to talk to them too, right?
Oh, I mean, yeah, but it's like picking your battles, right? I don't. I'm not gonna bother with trying to reason with people who are already kind of set in that way. It's no point. Um,
Mm,
but in terms of Gundam, right? If I'm going back to Gundam, um, I think eventually it'll come, but when it will, I don't know. But it's something that takes time. I haven't been going out as much lately, anyways, just because of COVID, which
because of
is
the whole
understandable.
pandemic, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
I mean, I
uh,
think honestly, I'm gonna say I think we're gonna be. I think the community, the general American player base when it comes to Gundam, I think we're gonna get better right now because the internet, um, the way everything was previously, I feel like previously there was a lot of click, if you will, where people only
it's
wanted to play
still
in
like
their own
really
little
cliquish.
groups.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but here's the thing though. I think personally, people in general are a lot more positive about wanting more people to play. I also think that Gundam players are a little more aggressive about it, especially because nowadays motherfuckers want to come out their mouth, fuck you, Gigic, and say the mech is dead.
Still
And
holding on to that, huh?
so I don't know. I feel personally there's because I don't know when Full Boost came out, I didn't really see much people talking about it, even though we had a side tournament at Evo. But now, I feel like there's a lot more effort being put to bring the game out and make it more inviting for other players. We've got all these silly little memes going on. We have a lot more people being positive, and I don't see people where they've made tweets where they're like, being negative or gatekeeping or not wanting people to play. You know,
Yeah, and I think
and
the
I saw
general
that
face of
before,
it's been
and I only saw that back in the full boost era, and even then that was people making passive aggressive comments about not wanting to play with weak players. You know, but and even then, and even more so with that, those people are irrelevant at this point, so they can get, who cares? But I think honestly, I do think that we're gonna get more, that we're gonna get better, and I think we're gonna get better at a faster pace than what happened with full boost, because I think a lot more players have learned the game, have played the game, and have good experiences. And I know that there's some people, myself included, who have had bad experiences with players where people were trying to use them as target practice just to crush them and make themselves feel better. And because of that, those people don't want that to happen to other new players. And then there's also the fact that we've had some people run around and try to make reviews of the game and say that the game isn't beginner friendly, or that it isn't welcoming to beginners, because you're gonna have people who are experienced and they're just gonna want to crush people, and that's just not true. So I think we're gonna be fine. I think what it is that the players who have been around, we got to make sure that we do make that conscious effort to say, hey, new guys, come try out our game. You know, sure, there is a barrier, there is an entry level, and yes, you're going to be. And yes, I think everybody who does care about teaching people the game or having people learn, everyone said the same thing. Look, you're going to play the game. Be aware. You're going to be coming into this game, and you're going to get your ass kicked. It's going to happen. It happened to us. It's going to happen to you. But stick with it. There's a lot more of us here now that are willing to help people learn the game than there was before. Even though there are still some clicks, sure, I do think overall, the community is more welcoming. At least I think so.
Yep. And I think a thing that we can kind of go back ever since we had that episode with Frosty Balti. It seems like more people are a bit more disillusioned now with modern fighting games nowadays, and they're jumping onto like Gundam, and it's like a breath of fresh air for them. So it's surprising that you see people that were skilled in their own games moving on to like new fighting games, and then they just get tired of it and they hop onto this game, and it's like the grass is greener on this side than the grass that they've been clipping for who knows how many years. So I guess it also helps in that regard that we're getting more people from those kind of communities, that they're starting to see what we've been seeing for so many years and the fun that they've been missing out on. That's just how I see it. So that kind of definitely bolstered the player base to a very great degree, especially during the open online demos. That really helped there.
I think that was I'm gonna give Bamco credit for that. I think they did a good job by I think they did a great job by releasing that and letting people try the game out for free.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was good. I think that was great. And not only that, but I'm also going to give them props again because of the recent tweet that they released, where they said, "Hey guys, come get Barbados Lupus Rex, which was a pre-order bonus. They're giving people another chance to get it, so please feel free to get it, guys. Please get it." And then they're also going to add Stasio, which was available for people who I believe pre-ordered the game and also had played Gundam Battle Operation 2. So go ahead and get that too. So you can, I think. Oh wait, my bad. It's just that's your operator for GBO2. So in the event that you don't play GBO2, you can get it too. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's good because if I'm not mistaken, there's the issue with Gundam Versus where the pre-order bonus was Hot Scramble, and that stayed a pre-order bonus. That was just like, dude, why?
Yep. And there was no way you could get him either. Even on like
Hmm.
the JP side, you couldn't get him because if you miss that window, you're square out of luck. Whereas with like EXS, as long as you get like I think it was the premium G sound edition. As long as you get that, or I think a new copy of Full Boost, you actually got him. I think it was just mostly a day one kind of thing though, but because I think there were a lot of situations where the DLC was kind of put separately.
Hmm.
I guess it probably made amends for people that wanted to get like a complete roster. So seeing how they've been learning their lessons from the past two games they had on console, it's really refreshing to see that happen actually in full force, rather than
Yeah.
just them trying to sneak it by and expect people to just rush in and get them, and then after a while, it just leaves a glaring black hole that's only going to be available. That's pretty much going to be a problem for anybody that actually runs tournaments. So, yeah, it's just a matter of accessibility at that point.
Yeah. Just play. And I think you're right. That's one thing that happened to me. I think I'm gonna mention a similar thing about that too. I don't know if I mentioned it here before, but I'll say it also. It happened with League of Legends. I was frustrated at not advancing when it came to ranks as easily as another friend did, and my friend of our mutual friend GC Yoshi, basically put it, told me straightforward. The thing is, you need to play more games. He's played countless more games than you have. So, the game is aware of this. That's why when you finish your promotion matches, even though he did horrible, he still got to gold without having to do anything. And even though you did great and you went what, like I think I went 0 and 8 and 2 when I did my preliminaries, I still got put in like bronze or some crap. She's like, dude, you just have to realize he's played more games than you have. So yeah, it's true. Some you just gotta grind it out. Its progress may be slow, but some of it is grind it out. It's kind of like working out. You're gonna play those games. You're gonna grind it out. You're gonna make some progress. Then you might hit a wall, and when you hit a wall, that's when you gotta look at your replays, and ask someone to look at the replays with you. You know, especially now since unlike let's say Super Robot Wars and stuff like or Gundam Versus, you can actually stream your game natively now through PS4. So you can stream it, you can put up replays, and you can have your friend, you can have a friend look through them, you know. And the other thing that's interesting too is that, which I think is cool for Gundam Versus in particular, is that when you're looking at replays, you can look at not just your own angle, but you can look at it from your partner's angle, from your opponent's angle, and then you can also do a bird's eye view also, which helps you look at general map positioning in a different light.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that too. So yeah, you just gotta grind. You gotta grind. No two ways about it. You have to grind.
Uh,
Hmm.
I think that's a good way to end it on if y'all want to.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I think there's one final question I might throw out. I guess.
Okay.
Do you think there ever will be like a Mikado situation where there's a huge concerted effort to get JPRKs to stream maybe EXVS 2 or anything at that point? Or is that going to be like a far cry from
I
ever
don't think
happening?
that's gonna happen because it's already happening now. Like there are already people that are streaming Extreme versus 2 every day,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of people to choose from. Like in terms of like the top level players, there are usually like 5 or 6 streams a day,
Mm.
or rather at the same time. It's just the
Just
time is just really bad, I think, for
ah
Americans. So
right.
it's like these streams are usually on at like 5, 6 p.m. my time, which is 8 hours from
Six
now.
a about 6 a.m. here.
Yeah. So that's
Mm-hmm.
usually when they start.
Okay, so is it mostly on these like other streams like OpenRec or stuff like that?
Recently it's YouTube and Mildom.
Mm-hmm.
Mirudom. Yeah. it's not a. I don't really like using that website, but YouTube, it's all on YouTube. It's never on Twitch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You think there might actually be some sort of interaction between like Western players and Japanese players if there's like a much more widespread or more, how can I put it? Basically, a wider reach, so to speak.
Um, there are already people that do talk to some of these streamers, but again, I think the most important thing with like this communication is that the streamer has to know like English or the commenter has to speak Japanese. Otherwise, your comment will just get ignored. um,
Mm-hmm.
so for example, uh, when I met Yusuke Answer, he's like a really old Bull Boost veteran that or streamer on Twitch. Like from many years ago, he used to stream, and like I told him like, oh yeah, I used to watch your streams, and then he's like, oh, are you one of those guys that would like put comment in English? I'm like, oh no, I wasn't. And he's like, oh, because if you were, yeah, I just didn't read your comment because I didn't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like because I couldn't understand it, I'm not gonna bother like trying to understand
Yeah.
or like there's no yeah. But yeah, it's just over time. I think more and more people will get interested, and then the people who are really dedicated, they'll find ways to contact them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a plan.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
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 I actually have one more for you, bro.
Okay.
When am I gonna get to carry you again?
Evo 2021.
Nah, I'm kidding, bro. No, seriously, dude. Thanks to honestly though, I do want to say thanks for coming on board for this. Hopefully we can bug you again, maybe for a different suit.
Okay.
And no, seriously, thanks for dropping by, dude. And I honestly
Problem.
hope that I do hope your experience improves out there because you know you may be blunt when it comes to offering advice, but I don't think you're a good dude, man. It's really unfortunate that you're having those experiences, but it'll improve. Just sooner or later the opportunity will happen where you'll be able to break the ice. But no, seriously, thanks for dropping by, dude, and
Yep. Much appreciated,
for
man.
um just no, yeah, thanks. Just really, dude. Just thanks for dropping by, man. It's good talking to you again. That's the other thing, man.
Likewise. All right, then I will jet out. I gotta go pay my bills. It's
Alrighty.
a lot of fun stuff. So I'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right, be safe, bro.
Take care, Crow.
Later.
And that's that.
All right, so I think we're good to go. I'm gonna probably go eat right now and maybe do a bit more stretching because my back is killing me right now.
Alrighty.
So thanks for dropping by, fellas, and we'll see what happens for the next episode. Probably do another since
Yeah,
we're
six spot.
kind of on a roll of doing a super review again. We'll probably do another one then.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll probably do like a 2K just to kind of follow the pattern.
What was the one that we did before this one?
The last one we did was Cassie.
Ah, yes, you're right.
So
We did Zy Gundam, and then we did this one. So yeah, sounds like a plan to do a 2K next then.
yep. And I just got to look at the poll and see what we can do next there. No, I'm kind of interested in doing Gaia a bit myself, but I might have to ask Fox Eye for that one in particular.
Fox Eye plays Gaia.
He's a bit more knowledgeable on a lot of other things, but he's the one that kind of pointed me to the right direction when it came to learning how to play Gaia in a proper way. Just gave me some proper
Yeah.
videos. So overall, I have been getting much better with Gaia. Like I've been very slippery with it too.
I did notice somebody was mentioning that during one of the recent sessions,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, honestly, part of the reason why I kind of feel like I made a bit of progress with Turn Next was because I had talked to Blue Shift about I talked to Crow about it, and he told me to just play a more fundamentals suit before turn next, because otherwise I'm just going to rely on its gimmicks and special movement as opposed to just regular fundamentals. And
Yeah.
that's where I started playing with Blue Frame, and even that kind of feel like I hit a bit of a wall with it. We'll see. I think I feel like I kind of hit a wall with it a little bit, but I don't think I'm at a point where I've reached the suit's maximum potential.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, my entire end goal is just the reason why I'm playing Gaia is to kind of bridge the gap in learning Reborns. That's pretty much the ultimate reason. So
you're moving. You're gonna play top tier, huh? I see how it is.
Yeah, I mean, Zalzi had that conversation with me before, so I had to take it into heart.
What did he tell you?
Pick a top tier. Just don't expect to win easily. Don't expect guaranteed wins, but your experience will be much easier, and you'll be learning the game a lot faster than just going with something lower end. That's what I kind of surmised from our conversation. So,
I think that's the question that I forgot to ask. Crow. But no. Actually, no. He kind of answered it for us. He just said pick a suit that you like.
Yeah, pick only one suit for like a long session, and then once you feel good with it, then you can move on to other ones. So maybe just play like a whole entire day of nothing but that one suit, and then just move on from the next. Once you feel like you're extremely comfortable with it, like it's second nature to you. That's something I probably need to work on in particular, because I have the tendency to pick a lot of suits, but I never really specialize on just one. Okay. So I've been doing that a little bit more often because of that in particular.
Sounds good. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get up and go eat.
Okay.
Thanks for dropping by. Good doing this thing with you, Blue.
Always, man. Always.
All right. Take it easy, fellas.
You too. Alrighty. So, we are done for the night. Let me get the... Alrighty, so that is Gold SUMO done. I think we covered quite a lot of information for the suit in particular. Always thanks to Crow for stopping on by, for giving his insight on the suit, as well as just some general stuff in regards to playing the game. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night here. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. Hope you have a wonderful week. And we'll see you next time. Now to find someone to raid and just share the good feelings and joy while I still have it. If anybody has like a recommendation of a channel that you want me to raid, either it's a small stream or your favorite streamer, just go right ahead. Just give me that chance now. But if I don't really get much of anything, then I'll just find someone else. But I always like to provide that choice. I've been doing a little bit more nowadays. Oh, I forgot to let her know they could. Well, next time. But you can catch Crow on his Twitter on at the Golden Scarecrow. That is DA_Scarecrow. let's see. So I guess for the rest of the night, I'm probably gonna play some PSO2 and just sawed off. Alright, I'll see you guys at Chase. Hope we give him some company. Oh, he doesn't go into drunk and stupid too. Until then, peace out.